Hi, salam alaikum. Hi, Oracle Reiki spiritual healer. And, I just wanted to come in and have a conversation with you as we move into our new season, our new fall months, the end of summer in August. And, as we move into a new month, that, this change means that you have to be willing to change from the entity. You have to be willing to separate. And, for me, I look at a lot of the women that's around me, a lot of the women who have been inserted into position by the entity in order to lead, but their leadership is it goes against everything that God has given us, and I don't want to seem to be a hypocrite to you. I'm not the type of person to point out somebody else's flaws and miss that, that mote or that beam in my own eye. But we have women who have been put into leadership, and as soon as, they are confronted with adversity, they act like that is the hand of God upon them. Then why are you in position of authority, standing in front of people to show how vulnerable and how you crumble at the slightest touch of the entity when it's upon you, when you are supposed to be, women of God, and you're supposed to face it with a certain I am, appalled at the sight of these women in positions of leadership with everything fake on, with everything, made up, with everything BBL, with everything done up, and acting like, they're the realest person, and acting like that this is how leadership is supposed to look. No, they have put warlocks have put these witches in position. And, we're having these women at the sight of anything, that happens, that the entity, breaks their spirit, adversity comes along, when they really got to stand up and fight against the entity in their lives and against the society, they break and crack under pressure. So, I would never me myself, and let me make sure, and this does not, and like I say, it's not all women, and I'm not talking about all women, because I do believe that there are some real women of leadership in their homes out there, in society out there, in community out there. But there's a couple of things that I will never do when I am, asked to judge between women. You will not have one fake hair on your head. Your hair will not be fake. And I almost want to say your hair will not be straightened. But I can deal with, flat ironing, a silky press. I can deal with that. Your own hair. But, enhancements, tracks, and all of these things, the jerry curls, perms, I can't deal with that. Because a lot of women use those things as a means to think that they're better than other women. When, as soon as they get put under pressure, they break and crack, and they go back to their original, selves. That, I'm just a woman. I'm no longer a woman of God. I'm just a woman. So, and I don't appreciate it, as a matter of fact, and that's how come it took me a long time in order to stand on business and spit this out, because, I don't even choose, from among women who stand up in leadership in front of the people who they say that they're leading, and they turn into Tammy Faye Baker, in our midst, right before our eyes. They turn back into themselves, into their old selves, in the club, in the strip clubs, needing to be validated by someone or something other than God. What God called you to do, what God called you for. I don't do fake women. I don't. I just can't. I can't, because I've been around those type of women who have pretended that they're for God when they're just, for money or themselves. As soon as they get around a male, and a male puts a wedge and choose them, then they'll forget about everybody else. They'll forget about what God put them in position to do for the collective. They will start choosing based on, oh, he likes me better than you. I must be better than you in some kind of way because he chose me, and that is being done to, pit us against each other. No, he has to be validated. And if that is all that he needs to do is to show interest in you, in order for you to show, your weakness, in order for you to show that, your fall from grace, you think that you're better in some way, then that is why I just cannot, I do not do women in leadership with everything fake. Your hair fake, your eyes fake, you got on makeup, you don't like the way you look, you think that you're better than other women because you're able to afford this kind of stuff or put those kinds of enhancements on your face and on your body and stand up in front of folks as if you're real. I don't get down like that. I would rather have choose a female who has dreads and maybe put on some makeup sometimes, but don't really need it, and know that she don't really need it. I would rather choose a female after my own heart that's willing to go to war if somebody tried to lead me somewhere wrong. If somebody tried to use the book at me wrong. I'm willing to teach you, but I'm real stern, and I stand on business when it comes, to what God has given me, what God will have me protect. Not only my body, not only his word, but protect other people from corrupting what has been given to me as a gift from God already, even as concerning women. So there's a lot of things that I don't do, and that doesn't mean that, I'm just going to, go against, all of society and what. Okay, I'm just saying you can't do it over here with me. If you're not going by the book, if you can't change for the better and go by the book, it doesn't matter. Whether you're going by the Holy Quran or by the Holy Bible, there are strict guidelines that you should be following for your leadership as a female. So my tone of speech, just because I sound a certain way, that doesn't mean that I won't put this fire to you with my mind. I can't change my voice, but I can definitely speak a sound, a talk that is just, and it doesn't matter who it cut, man or female. It doesn't matter. And you're not gonna want that when I have to tell you, you're fake. I'm not going to be able to deal with you. You turn back into the person that you once were. You're fake. You dress fake. You're not leading the flock, in club attire. We're not trying to attract a man, just anybody. We're trying to attract who God sent to us. We're not trying to use, our body, because that's going to attract anybody. We're going to use our mind in order to attract who God has for us, so that we can be equally yoked. And I did a whole video on being unequally yoked the other day, last week. So I want you guys to understand, we're coming into this new season of, fall time, August. The kids are going to be going back to school, and there's some decisions among women that have to be made. Are you rolling with the entity, or are you rolling with God? Because if you're rolling with entity, then you're fuel for the hellfire. So, you won't be my choice, and you're nobody's choice, because you look back, and I already told you what happened to women when they look back. So I hope that this has helped you, male and female. You can reach out to me in the description below. You can book a consultation with me. I'm High Oracle, Reiki Spiritual Healer. Book a one-on-one consultation. Book a session. Request a topic. Assalamu alaikum.